I have just one goal, and that's to solve a Rubik's Cube in under 1 minute. Ever since I first saw a Rubik's Cube, I've always wondered how anyone can solve them, and with 43 quintillion combinations, it just seems impossible. The current world record is just 3.13 seconds, held by Max Park in June 2023, being the previous record holder of 3.47 seconds. I thought I would see if I could solve it myself, without any guidance, and after just 8 minutes I managed to complete one side, which seemed like I was doing pretty well, but I just could not find a way to complete any more sides on the cube without ruining the side I completed. And I knew some research was needed. So I went onto YouTube and I watched a few tutorial videos, and I found out that solving a Rubik's Cube is harder than I thought. Apparently there are different algorithms to learn, and I was never aware of this. After almost 4 hours of repeatedly watching this video, I finally managed to complete my first Rubik's Cube. There are a few main methods on solving the Rubik's Cube. There's CFOP, Rho, and ZZ, or ZZ if you want to. I'm going to use CFOP, as this is the method used by JPerm. I'll watch the video on. CFOP stands for cross, first 2 layers, orientation on the last layer, and permutation of the last layer. The first thing I need to do is create a cross shape on the bottom face. Now I need to get the corners into the right section, and using some algorithms I learned, move them into place. Once in place, the first layer and bottom layer are complete. So then I'll move on to the second layer. To complete this, I have to do even more complex algorithms and move pieces from the top of the cube to the second layer of the cube, matching up the colours on the cube to the piece I'm moving. Now I have to create a cross on the top layer just like we did on the bottom, using probably the most complex algorithm shown to me so far. And once I've done this, I then need to line up as many colours as I can with the top layer middle pieces. Something I initially forgot, and I then had to re-watch the video to remember. If these aren't lined up, then I have to do more moves to line up all 4 sides. Once lined up, I then need to get the corners in the right place using one last algorithm, which would be right up, right down, left down. But on this attempt, all the corners are in the correct place. Now I flip the cube over and start solving the final corners, just like we did at the beginning with the white side, but with one fundamental difference. When you solve a corner, you twist the bottom layer only, then you continue. And it's complete. So it took me about 8 minutes to complete this Rubik's Cube, which I'm really excited about, but it's just nowhere near that 1 minute mark. Now that I know how CFOP works, I need to memorise the steps and algorithms so I can complete the cube without going back to tutorial. After a day of practice, I found that the majority of my time is spent getting to the first 2 layers stage. And when I went wrong, it was usually down to using the wrong algorithm. If I can get to the first 2 layer stages in just 30 seconds, I believe I can complete the Rubik's Cube in under 1 minute. So after getting some confidence in my skills and practicing all day, I decided to see how long it would take to complete on my own. So I'm really surprised I managed to do this in just 2 minutes and 39 seconds, especially after just 1 day of practice. So I think getting that 1 minute goal might not be as hard as I thought. But to shave off another 1 minute and 40 seconds, I'm going to need some more practice. It was not long before I started taking the cube with me everywhere I went. From work to the toilet, whenever I found a pocket of time, I'll whip this bad boy out, start cubing, all in an effort to reduce my time. After 4 days, I've managed to bring my time down to under 2 minutes, just 1 minute shy of my sub 1 minute goal. But shaving off that extra minute of time seems almost impossible. So I watched another JPerm video that helped speed up the process. After a few hours, I believe it was time to try again. With the only thought being the cube, I focused all of my energy into one last effort. Every fibre of my being was being poured into the cube. And the payoff? Rubik's Cube. Completed it, mate.